What's going on YouTube? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I wanted to do a video on basically anything high dollar that you probably don't know you can flip on eBay for really good profits. So today we're going to concentrate on actual things that I've sold uh, recently, and I've made at least anywhere from $20 to $30 in profit. So I mean, guys, I've been doing this for 20 plus years. Every day is a learning experience. And I just wanted to share one of those videos where it's like, all right, if you're out there sourcing at estate sales, garage sales, or even on eBay, wherever you buy your stuff, whatnot, YouTube auctions, you name it, um, I want to kind of educate you on some of the things that you can find that aren't very big, and you might be surprised. So let's get started on the video. So basically, I'm just showing you all this. This is my store, so Chi-Town Sounds. Uh, Excellent feedback. Almost sold 10,000 items on eBay. Like, that's insane. Imagine how much money I've made eBay and the post office over the years. I do have some followers. I don't know if it's you guys on YouTube. It's probably mostly sellers, or not sellers, that buyers that buy from me. It could be other sellers too. But let's get started. So number one is coins, U.S. coins to be exact, and more importantly, it's the Morgan silver dollar. So unless you're um, even if you have no clue what coins are and which ones have silver, whatnot, um, Morgan silver dollars by far are the most popular coins, period. They're like liquid money if you walked in any coin shop or silver and gold shop. So it's the most highly collectible coin, and they're pretty easy to determine uh, why one will sell more for sell more than another one. And it just boils down to they're made from 1878. They stopped in 1904, and then they made another one in 1921, and then they stopped. They don't make them anymore. And it was a dollar. It was U.S. money, uh, unlike the dollar bills or the dollar bills that exist on your phone. Uh, it's pretty easy to find one that has some value to it. So this particular Morgan silver dollar, you can always tell the year. Okay, so the year is always going to be on the coin. And if you can't see the year on the coin, it's at least worth 20 bucks in silver. Just keep it at that. But they're big. They're pretty big coins. And uh, you can tell the mint mark. So underneath the eagle here, there's a mint mark here. So this one has an O. That stands for New Orleans. Now, if there's no mint mark there, it's made in Philadelphia. If there's an S, it's San Francisco. If it's CC, that's Carson City. Those are worth a lot. Um, But you don't have to, what I'm getting to, guys, you don't have to memorize what's worth what. It's like super easy. So if you just searched 1886 O Morgan silver dollar, you would then find that it's a pretty rare coin. But the how the coin looks, the quality of the coin is everything. So this one, I think I picked it up for like 47 bucks, sold it for 400. It's crazy, right? That's like 300 something dollar profit, even after eBay fees and everything. So if you see any of these coins out there, definitely pay attention to that. Obviously, designer stuff. It is a little scary to sell designer stuff on eBay, but this particular shoe, you saw it in an estate sale. Dude, anything made in Paris. Now you gotta watch out for fakes, obviously. So when you do pick something like this up, obviously make sure it is legit. But a lot of songs have been made out of these, especially hip hop and rap, the red bottoms. And these took some time to sell. The buyer, obviously, it's a little tougher to sell because you're basically looking to sell it to someone that A, can afford it, and B, it'll actually fit them. Obviously, the quality of the item, the condition of the item is everything. You don't want to buy ones that are completely trashed because I don't think they're worth fixing. And these obviously were worn. You can always see it's made in Italy. Company's out of Paris. I mean, any shoe made in Italy out there, you're probably going to do well on. So these were a nice pickup. This was actually given to my daughter in Florida, and then she had me sell them on her behalf. So sold these. I think one of her um, One of her friends gave her a bunch of stuff, and she took it to a local like higher end resale shop, and they didn't buy shoes, so she just gave them to me to sell for on eBay. But anyways, $200 bill all day long, like on the cheap. I sold these pretty cheap, so don't sleep on this brand. Uh, things like this brand is worth a lot. And chances are most of this brand, the Coach brand, that you're probably gonna get 20, $30 for a used purse. They're not very desirable. They made a ton of them, but there are certain ones or certain patterns, and obviously this one was brand new. So sometimes they'll create something and it's basically no longer being made, and it was pretty popular. So in the case of this one, this sold for over $200. And if you can see the price tag, originally was they were getting 275 for it. And you could go to Coach. Coach has a separate outlet online store, and sometimes, at least they used to, they'd run some pretty significant sales, like 60% off retail. And if you wanted to source directly from Coach, so you know it's legit, but you want to get it's hard to tell too. Like I'm a dude, like I don't really do the purses, but this one had cherries on it. It's a cool pattern, and all it takes, right, is someone on social media to post it, and someone else will think it's cute, and they'll be willing to pay for it, especially when they can't find it anymore. So if you find this Coach purse out in the wild, if it's used, you probably could still sell it, for $100 or 150 again, depending on the quality of the item or the condition. Obviously, brand new, you can get well over $200. I don't think you're going to find a brand new one out there in a estate sale, but you never know. Like, you might be able to find someone that has a bunch of this stuff, or they close their store. And anyway, so look for the Coach purse with the cherries on it. Obviously, conditions everything. But again, most Coach purses are only worth like $20. So this is a nice pickup. I didn't buy this myself. Again, this was one of the things from my daughter that she just never used. She probably got it as a gift, and we sold it for her. All right, so anything U.S. history. Obviously, anyone here in the United States know who Thomas A. Edison is. So, dude, inventor of the phonograph, a lot of the light bulb, all kinds of stuff. So this is a very cool actual employee token. So back in the day, between 1911 and 1957. So I did do some research when this company existed. So basically, you're working in the factory, you got to check a tool, you got to give them this token, you hang it on this thing, and then you grab the tool. And then when you return the tool, you grab your token again. So it's a tool check token. And it's really cool because it says you lose this token, man, you get charged 50 cents, which probably was like $100 back in 1911, especially with inflation, right? So this is really cool. I picked this up for under 50 cents um, from an estate sale, and the seller was on YouTube. So it was a cool estate sale in Orlando, Florida, where all the cool collectible items go to die until someone finds it. So that was a nice $100 plus profit. So again, you see anything Thomas A. Edison, you see this tool check token, and I sold it fast. It was not a slow seller. This thing sold within a day of listing it. Actually, the same day I listed it, someone was already interested. I'm like, yeah, dude, you could have it. If you collect that stuff, that's cool. All right, again, I'm a dude, but maybe ladies know what this brand is really cool. Again, picked this up from an estate sale. Picked up a bunch of purses. This was the one that caught my eye, and the only reason I know this is worth money is because my mom had purchased one of these back in the day. And again, as a kid, um, as a young boy, you think alligators are cool, and you think alligators are cool when they turn them into actual usable items. So this brand's really, really neat. It's a beautiful red burgundy purse. You can see the brand here. So if you see Brahmin, this was not in the greatest condition, but it wasn't like ripped or torn. But there definitely is some wear to it. Normally these purses are like $500-600 brand new, and it's a smaller purse. So some of the ladies don't like the. It's either like you got a big purse or you put all your junk in, or you got a little one. So this is a cool purse. And then when you do list stuff, you do want to show the condition. Like if I didn't show this angle and this person got it, like, oh, there's damage in the corner, and then they would have returned it. So You always want to show the condition of your items, just as if you were to buy it to, buy it for yourself. Again, you want to look at the end user. Inside was absolutely beautiful. And then another thing too, when you're looking at the zippers, um, you want to look for YKK, which that zipper company is in Northbrook, Illinois, which is not too far from where I live. But that's where all the quality zippers are made. I don't think I took a picture of the zipper though. But anyways, this is a great brand. But if you found like a fake alligator purse, it's probably worth like $10. So blow by it. But if you see Brahmin as the name, definitely grab it. All right, these next few items are smalls, really, really small. So I bought a bunch of pins, and here's a story in this one. So the place I bought this from, they specialize in buying gold and silver and collectibles, and they're located on eBay. I found this on eBay. I made prior purchases from them before, so I bought like watches and stuff. I replaced the batteries, did really, really well. Still got a bunch of watches listed from that lot. But I've been like eyeing this one for quite some time, and I use like Google Lens and stuff, or some of these sellers they just take a picture and there's a whole bunch of crap, right? It's just a photo of like a bunch of stuff. And I noticed this one. I was like, man, this I think is like real gold, which doesn't make sense either because I probably could have taken this back to where I bought it from, and they probably would have gave me $90 for it. But what I'm getting at is anything made out of gold. Gold is very expensive right now, unless you've been sleeping on a rock. Gold's close to $3,200 an ounce. So 14 karat gold per gram is around 56, maybe $60 per gram. And just the gold scrap weight alone, besides the collectability of it, the person that bought this just wants the scrap gold. So I listed under the scrap gold category versus a collectible. You pay a little bit less fees to eBay, and you want to say 14 karat gold scrap, even though it's a very cool collectible pin. So when you take photos of your stuff, take very detailed photos. You can measure it. You can put a US coin next to it for, size, even though I'm measuring it here. This lets the buyer know that it's smaller than a US dime. And then you want to weigh it. So if you have any precious metals, definitely want to weigh it. If you don't weigh it, you can put in there all day long, but they're not going to believe you until you actually weigh it. And you want to make sure it weighs that too. You don't want to put 2 grams and the dude gets it or the lady gets it and then they weigh it and it's less. Then they'll be like pissed and they'll want a refund. But anyways, this pin probably cost me under 40 cents because I bought a big lot of them. And it's really weird because I bought it from a place that specializes in buying gold and silver. And they obviously made a mistake. They didn't look at all the pins that were in there. They just threw it in there with the lot because I paid, I think, like $44 for over 144 pins or something like that from them. And this was one of the pins that were inside. So that's crazy, right? So I actually bought this from a place that specializes in buying gold and silver. So that just tells you like they don't look at everything either. And again, I don't blame them. It's like someone probably brought this in. Usually when someone passes or someone's about to move, they go to this place, they liquidate their valuables, and then they probably hire an estate sale place to get rid of like the big stuff like the furniture. So this is really cool. So you can make profit on buying stuff from eBay. And I did save myself money by going to their store to pick it up. Save myself $19. So you can find these little things. So if you see little pins or coins in a box somewhere, even if you can't see, everyone knows I use a cell phone. You know how to zoom in. You could have zoomed in on this yourself and found this, right? So very, very cool, awesome score. Sold very fast. Scrap jewelry as well. Even 10 karat gold's worth money. I think it's like $44 a gram. So I do have a diamond tester. It's one of those like $20 specials. It's not the one that says moissanite or the one that talks. Those are like $200. But this was missing a diamond. All these diamonds were real. And I did pay $80 for this item. And I sold it as scrap. So I didn't list. I first listed it under jewelry, and I noticed like other sellers were selling this open heart pendant for like $350, but those are like brand new. So I'm like, dude, who's gonna buy mine with a missing diamond? It's gonna be a pain in the ass to put a diamond in there. Plus, that's not my audience. My audience is I want to sell this for the scrap gold. So I know I got a good deal on it, paying 80 because of the weight. It's 3 grams. And then I took a picture here of scale, show it's about the size of a dime. And then here it's very clearly marked 10K. right here, 10K. So it's a real piece of jewelry. That was the maker. It's like VA or something. A lot of these make, and then 15, 40, who knows, right? But, and then I show my diamond tester testing positive, and I tested all the diamonds too. But anyways, long story short, I made 20 bucks and it sold within a day. So if you can find old jewelry that, again, you have to get your brain out of like the old price of gold. So I'm 48 years old. When I was 10 years old, gold was like 400 bucks an ounce. Now it's 3,200 an ounce, right? So a lot of older folks that are getting rid of this stuff, they have no clue what this is worth. So they might sell you something like this for a couple bucks and it stays so, or oh, it's gold, I'll sell it to you for $5. And then you can take that $5 and turn it into $100, just like that. So do not sleep on little gold items. Here's another designer thing, Saint Laurent, Paris. Again, if you go to Nordstrom's or higher end store, they actually have dedicated stores too. Uh, anything like this name brand, again, do watch out for fakes. So it's very easy to spot fakes because the stitching will just look all off. So anything that's designer will not look off. It'll be solid construction. You want to show the wear of everything. But the stitching, it just has to be perfect. You don't want to see threads coming out or anything like that. And this obviously was used. But a beautiful wallet. And you want to see made in Italy. It should smell like leather too, not like fake leather. Look at the stitching inside. So I like to take photos that really show that this is a real one. And then you want to show the damage really close up and the wear. But if you pick something like this up for $2 at an estate sale, you can turn a $100 bill. Insane, right? Here's something that you probably really, I know it's very few because there are a lot of Disney watches out there. Some of them are junky. Um, but I mean, if anyone's been to Disney, that's that stuff's expensive, right? So this particular one is cool. It's Peter Pan, and they go. It shows like this animation, which really isn't. It's just a movement, but they go flying across the sky, which is one of the when they could fly type scenes. There's a little Tinkerbell. Dude, seriously, anything Tinkerbell too is worth a lot. People really collect Tinkerbell. So I show the movement. They're very easy to spot. Um, Pedre, this one has a serial number. This was an expensive watch at Walt Disney, and this again I bought from that same gold and silver place. So when you see those type of locations, a lot of times they'll have a lot of stuff like this that they just want to get rid of. And I think I bought a big lot of Disney watch. It wasn't a big. It was like 18 Disney watches. Anyways, I got $6 in this watch, turning $100 is what I'm getting at. But the key is like it came with the case. To me, it looked brand new, maybe worn once. It's limited edition. It's got the certificate of authenticity, genuine leather band. It's the original leather band too. And obviously, you want to show any damage. So someone did wear this once or twice. And look at that. They only produced 10,000 of these watches. That's not a lot, but it's a collectible. And the case is kind of falling apart, so I showed the damage. Again, I don't like to hide anything. And the band started cracking there. But got $100, and someone's probably going to replace the band. So if you do resell watches, they're very easy to change the batteries. You just have to have a special tool, and you just want to show any defects because you don't want your buyer to be upset. Here's another Morgan silver dollar. I picked this up for like, and the reason I sold 100 is it's an error coin. So a lot of times these coins will have certain errors in them. So this is called an S over S mint mark. So they stamp the mint mark twice, which you can clearly see with the naked eye or with a scope. And that was really cool. And again, I think I paid like $30 for this. So that was a nice $60 profit item, sold very quickly. So again, don't sleep on Morgan silver dollars. If you see them out there, and you can get them for at least 24 bucks, which is the silver weight of it, you're going to do all right. This brand, Ecclesi, um, they're kind of hard to spot though. Like if you can't see, but it's sterling silver. Obviously, this part here is made of turquoise, but all the metal parts are made of sterling silver. Again, I got this from the same gold and silver place that's on eBay. Bought a lot of watches. I think this watch I've got under $2 into it, so maybe $2.50 by changing the battery, and sold it for $92. So that's awesome. $80 profit. Here's another brand I never heard of, but I was I got this for I think like 30 bucks, made a $50 profit. It's Orpaz. They used to be on the Home Shopping Network. They're made in Israel. Very unique, very cool, not junky by any means, and all of the metal is sterling silver. And sterling silver is expensive too. So silver is I think $32, $33 an ounce today. So I always take pictures if I can of me replacing the battery to show that it's not corroded. And then there you can see the 925 and that it's made in Israel. Very, very cool. And the band was made out of sterling silver. There we go. See 925. So if you see 925 on your stuff, that's a good sign. That's quality. And again, this thing's been used, man. It's got scratches on it, right? A little water resistant, all that good stuff. Hot water dispenser. I got this as a gift, and it sold within a day. So a lot of people know or don't realize how important these devices are for those that drink tea every day. So most of the other generation drinks tea, but the Asian population drinks tea like every single day, and it's a pain in the butt for them to boil it over the stove. So they really love these hot water dispensers. These are key to health. So if you drink a lot of tea and you can grab one of these for like $5, if it's brand new, you can sell it for 75. This is not a name brand. This is like some off-brand China make, whatever. And I sold it for 75 bucks. Um, take some pictures of it, get rid of it. Microphones, they're probably one of the higher end ones, and this is called a condenser mic. And it's important with these microphones that you realize there's an actual battery compartment. This is my own personal one I bought back in the late 90s. And you always want to check that battery compartment because if it's corroded, that's going to be hard to sell. So you do have to put a AA battery in there to make it actually work. But these were expensive microphones, and they sound great. So if you can get a microphone for under $5, you can turn it into an $80 bill all day long. Just check that battery compartment and make sure it's not corroded. All right, if you see cute little baby dolls, I know this, but any baby that looks real, they sell for good money. And this brand here, Coral or Corel, is a French company. They'll still make their stuff in China, but it's a French design company. They'll actually make like awesome quality clothes. And this baby doll sold for 75 bucks. And this was one of those baby dolls that were sold in an actual shop where, a lady would take a raw baby doll, put an outfit on it, knit a basket for it to sit in, and the actual baby doll itself is Corel or Corelli. I don't know if I'm saying it right. It was made in 2000. So, and it's an Asian baby too. So anyway, sold for 75 bucks. All right, those that you were looking is in. So don't get it confused with like the regular Zen. These are the plastic ones that cost like $6 at the store here in Elk Grove Village, Illinois. But if you, every Zen can has a code on the back, and if you put enough, you can create an account on Zen, and then you can order this metal Zen tin. They're collectible. Uh, it's kind of like the Marble Man type of thing, or camel, with camel jackets and stuff. It's kind of under that category. But I just used my points to get this item. As soon as I got the item, I listed it. It sold within a day. And they're a $75 bill all day long. So if you are at an estate sale or garage sale and you see a metal Zin can here, even like a used one that doesn't come with the box and everything, they're 50, 60 bucks all day long. And what's cool about this is I don't have to pay for the packaging. I just use the packaging that they ship me it, and I use it to ship it out. So super easy. Kate Spade watches. The uniqueness of a watch or just the look of the watch. This is kind of a big watch for a lady, but again, picked this up in that lot for got under $3 into it. Beautiful condition, changed the battery, sold it for 70 bucks. So Kate Spade's a nice brand. Um, Color watches like Seiko can be worth a lot of money. Um, they're easily spotted, but it's hard too because sometimes they're in pretty bad shape or they don't work. So obviously make sure it works before you spend any money on it. But this is probably something you can pick up in a estate sale for a few bucks, maybe $5 if it's got the box and everything. So that was a $70 bill on that one. Brad styles are funny. Not the new ones because they still are available at the store, but a brand new Brad style in the store is like 20 bucks, and they'll probably be close to 35 bucks come this Christmas because that stuff's made in China, and we have a tariff war going on with them. But if you see any Brad styles with freckles on them, it's very rare. It's only to this one Brad style, which is a Tessa doll. Dude, this thing's new. I only found the skirt for it. It's got no shoes or the feet, but the hair is in decent condition. A lot of times the hair will be chopped. It did have it. She does have her earrings, but that was a $60 bill. So if you're out there looking at Brad styles and you see freckles, just think boom, boom, boom. Shy told me it's $60 all day long. Again, conditions everything. It is baseball season, so this great and this is um, genuine made Chicago Cubs jersey. So Maddox played for the Cubs at the beginning of his career, then he played for the Braves, and then he finished his career as a Cub. And this is a nice authentic jersey. I picked this up at a garage sale locally. There's a lot of Chicago things you can buy. I got this for like $5, so it was cool to turn that into a $60 bill. And it's very easy to spot the fakes on these. So the stitching will look like crap, especially around the lettering. You won't like the stitching should be perfect. That's how you spot the fakes. So don't buy a fake one because there's a lot of fake ones out there too. Uh, the dudes that collect knives are definitely. Um, I got a few bucks into these knives. I think I have $5 into these knives. I bought a lot of knives just to try because I like to recondition them, clean them up a little bit. And then on the knives, you can always tell. So this is a Sheffield. There it is, McPherson Brothers, Glasgow. Was that out of England? I don't know. It's a cool old knife, and it sold for 60 bucks, and I paid 5 for it. Then ESQ is another brand for this movement. Beautiful looking watch. So if you see ESQ or anything Swiss made, some of them we wear a lot. Not this brand, but that's basically where the majority of nice watches come from. So that's a $50 bill. Dude, anything Michael Jordan. So this had it's Michael Jordan in a baseball uniform, but not for the Chicago White Sox, for the minor league team that he played for. So it's a very nice piece of history. So if you can find this, it's a $50 bill all day long. I think I probably sold it a little cheap, but anyways. And then Citizen is also a nice brand for watches. And then anything anime related, cool. So again, I'm not a big fan of selling clothing, but this jacket sold for 45. Anything made in the USA with anime on it, it's pretty rare. So it's like designer stuff. And then this little pin here was 10 karat gold. That's why it sold for 48 bucks. So if you got pins, this just look on the back. It says 10 karat. CTO is a very nice brand that makes usually nicer pins. And that is a real sapphire in there. So that sold for 48 bucks. Again, paid 50 cents for it. So boy dolls for Moxie teens or Bratz dolls. The boy dolls were not as popular. Um, this one here still had its thing on there, so my daughters didn't really play with it much, but he's a $40 bill. And he's got all his clothes, so conditions everything on that stuff. So again, hopefully guys, this has helped you out. You never know what you're going to find out there, and I just want to do a video showing you a bunch of items that you can easily make well over $20, $30 profit items. stuff that you might not even know about it, versus looking for the obvious, the Pokemon, the baseball cards, the video games, um, the Snap-on tools. Like that stuff's easy, but this is you can make money on basically on anything. So appreciate you guys watching my channel. Let me know in the comments if this helped you out, and I look forward to making another video for you guys in the future. Take care.